The statistics in the film about stop loss, they're shocking to me. I didn't realize how many thousands and thousands of families and troops are affected. Now, for those who don't know, can you explain stop loss a little bit?
Sure. Stop loss is a military term, and it's when the military extends you beyond the contract that you believe you signed up for. It's when you think your term is over. So what's happening with these guys, and some women, but mostly the guys who are fighting, is they're signing up for patriotic reasons to defend their country, their home, and their family. They go over there, they do their tour of duty, whether that's one or that's two tours. In our film, it's two tours. And they come home, and if they've had a difficult experience over there, they likely don't want to go back. And because they've done their time, they feel like they've served their country, and they're going to get out, come home, reintegrate with their families, start to move on with their lives, and they're told that they can't leave, and they're sent right back into battle.
The actors did such a great job. You really had an all-star cast. Tell me about the actors in the film.
The actors are fantastic. I mean, I love them, and I was able to handpick each of them with my wonderful casting director, A.B. Kaufman, and my producer, Scott Rudin. I just brought all the actors into a room. Ryan came in and auditioned, which, a guy at his level doesn't always have to audition. He did, and he was wonderful. He could portray that working class guy that signed up after 9/11. He's a total believer. He's a total patriot. And I had soldiers look at these videos, and they were like, I would buy that guy as a soldier. And that was important for me, even though we were going to go through all kinds of training, and they worked with Iraq vets, and my military advisor, Sergeant Major Jim Deaver, 25 years in the Marines. So it was important to me that they started out with the right emotional balance. Then Channing Tatum. He comes in, and you haven't really seen him before. At that point, Guide to Recognizing Your Saints hadn't come out, Step Up hadn't come out. This kid walked in, he was probably what we call the greenest interview. He didn't have a lot of experience, but he was so phenomenal. And he had that kind of hunky guy, masculine quality that we don't see enough of in Hollywood. And because I'd been interviewing soldiers, I'd seen that they'd put on 30 pounds of muscle. I was like, we need a stud.
Yeah.
So he came in, and he had the cocky, charismatic, psychopathic kind of great, hero attitude. And we made a tape, and I sent it to Scott, and I said, I think this kid's great. I think he can do it. And Scott agreed, and he, contacted the studio, and he said, look, you may not be able to justify it on the books in some ways, but this kid can do it. So that was fantastic. Then Joey Gordon-Levitt, who's in Third Rock from the Sun for all those years, I had worked with him in an in an audition, and we just adored each other. And I was dying to have him in the movie, and I appealed to him directly. I said, look, you're a leading guy. This is one of 3 guys, but I know you're perfect. And he said yes. We had a phenomenal experience. And then Abby Cornish, who is we're going to see so much out of her. She was unavailable when I first started casting. So I was looking at every young woman in the world. And it was just like, well, they're really good, they're talented, but I don't really buy them the way that I need to. All of a sudden, her agent calls me up and says, Kim, Abby read your script. Abby wants to come in and audition for you. She wants to do your movie. And I was like, wait a second. Now, first of all, I would have hired her without the audition. But the fact that I could get Abby to audition, so she flew from Australia to Texas, and that was just a dream come true. And, little Victor Rasuk, who is just, I think, heartbreaking and perfect in this role. And such a talented actor. I don't know if you've seen Raising Victor Vargas. He's just wonderful. So, I mean, we got to handpick them. They're all fantastic. And they all actually really became friends. And they really bonded deeply during the experience of filming. Also, it was really a passion project for all of them. So, and that really helps me do my job. When they really become friends and they take on the attributes of the character, and Ryan, actually has to become the leader of the pack, you see that on film every day.
And they actually had to go to boot camp, too, didn't they?
They had to go to boot camp.
Wow.
Yeah. We had 2 weeks in a boot camp, and, to the soldiers out there, of course, it's not what you guys go through, but we do our best. And we put them through the most rigorous training we can. Sergeant Major Jim Deaver, designs 2 weeks, and he used to train, soldiers, as he's a sergeant major, so he knows exactly what, men are supposed to do to learn this stuff. He teaches them how to stack. He makes them do PT. He makes them clean their guns. He makes Ryan and Channing run the missions, so they actually have to earn the respect of the men. So, again, it's not the same as what a soldier goes through, but it's as close as we can make it, with our actors. And we had real combat vets in the boot camp. So at night when the guys would finish their training, well, they'd be training with real Iraq combat vets. They'd stay up all night and they'd share war stories, and it was really a phenomenal transformation that I would go and visit and watch them do their exercises and their drills.
Did you try any?
Yeah, I tried some. I do the pull-ups. I do the push-ups.
Oh, pull-ups. I can never do pull-ups.
Pull-ups are tough.
They are tough.
Yeah.
I will always remember where I was when I first saw Boys Don't Cry, and I will always remember where I was when I first saw Stop Loss, too.
Well,
so thank you.
That means a tremendous amount to me. Thank you. If I can say anything, it's just about, falling in love with characters and telling stories that are American and about our families and what we're going through.
Yeah. And this is a good one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.